Welcome back to Excel Tutorials. In today's lesson, lesson number 7, we're going to look at outlining in Microsoft Excel. Let's open up an Excel document. Okay, this is the document we were working on in the previous lesson. And in this lesson, we've added a new sheet called Contacts. Let's look at that. Okay, in this sheet we have some fictitious contacts for our fictitious company ZRXB, and we're going to look at outlining some of this data. Okay, first of all we're going to go to the Data tab, and we see here Group, Ungroup, and Subtotal. We're going to start off with the subtotal, but before we do that we need to sort our data. So right now under Division, we can sort the data from A to Z or Z to A. Let's try Z to A. And then A to Z. Okay, now our data is sorted. Let's go to Subtotal. Under Subtotal, we have selected Division. And under Function, we don't want the product or the sum. We just want to count the number of cities, so we'll select Count. And we want the subtotals to be under Division, so we will leave Division checked. In this case, we're not going to use page breaks, so we'll select OK. And now you see we have a subtotal under London. So we have 4 contacts in London, 2 contacts in New York, and 3 contacts in Paris, for a grand total of 9 contacts. And here New York is not displayed properly, so we'll select this column, go back to Home, Format, Autofit Column Width, and back to Data. So this data is now grouped under one large outline and 3 smaller outlines. So if we click this minus sign, we see that the detail for the London contacts disappears and only the count remains. 4 contacts for London. If we click the other minus sign, now the New York details have disappeared and only the count remains. 2 contacts for New York. Once again, Paris. For the Paris count, we have 3 and the detail has disappeared. And the grand count is 9. Now to display that information again, we'll select the plus sign and click it. And now we've opened up all the details again. Now if we click the minus sign on the main outline, only the grand count remains and none of the details will show. Let's open that again. We can also use the 1, 2, 3 at the top to display the information that we want. Let's select 1. 1 is the grand count. Plus sign again. Let's select 2. Click the plus signs again. And now we'll select 3. As you can see, no change when we select 3 because 3 is everything showing. So we'll select the minus sign on the larger group. Click it. All the details are hidden again. We will click number 3 to show them all again. So that's the outline with the subtotals. We can also use the group command to group columns. In this case, we want to have more than one group of columns. In order to have more than one group of columns, we need to have groups within groups. So first of all, we need to select all the columns that will be part of any group within a group. So let's say we want to have column E in its own group, and then passenger ID to fax number in another group, and so on. We need to select all of the columns that will have any groups within them. So we have decided that our groups will exist within the columns E to J. So first of all, we will group all of these columns. We'll go up to Group and select Group. Now all of these columns are grouped. Now we can create columns within this primary group. So now we want to have another group from F to J. And we will select Group from the ribbon. And now we have another group. And our next group will be G to J. And we will select Group from the ribbon again. And now we have another group. Now we can select our groups individually up here from 1 to 4. If we select 1, all of the information except name, email, and division is hidden. We select 2, and now E and K are revealed. And 3, E, F, and K are revealed. And number 4, all the information is revealed because it is the main group. If we click the minus sign on the group, plus sign on the group, so you can see that selecting the minus and the plus sign on this main group does the same thing as selecting number 1. So now let's say that the London outline is our main outline and we never want to hide it. So we want to separate the London outline from the group of outlines. So we will select those rows and we'll go to Ungroup. Now you see that this outline has disappeared, but it's still part of the main outline. And so to remove it from the main outline also, we must click Ungroup again. So Ungroup. And now you see that the outline has moved down, and this is no longer a part of the outline groups. Let's have a look at that. We'll select the minus sign, and we still have the London on top, but the New York information is hidden and we only have the count and the minus sign in this group. And now the London count is there, the New York count is there, and the Paris count is there, and the grand count is there. You also notice that down here some of our cell formatting has been copied to the cells, but the borders have not been copied. If we want to correct that, we simply go to the Home tab and select the cells that we want to have a border. In this case, I want a thick border, so I'm going to select an individual row here, select my thick borders, and an individual row here, and thick borders again. So now I've made thick borders on my Paris count and my grand count. We would also like thick borders on our New York count. So we'll select that and select thick borders. And our London count, we will also put thick borders on that one. Thick borders. The border style is already selected here. If you click the drop down, it's thick outside borders. So now all of my counts have thick outside borders. I can click my plus signs again, and all of my accounts have thick outside borders. And I can also use the 1, 2, 3 for displaying my information. 1 means everything is hidden, but because London is not a part of the outline group any longer, it remains visible. 2 gives me all of my counts, but the information for New York and Paris are not visible. 3, everything is visible. Now you may want to change the formatting for the colors in your count. So we can fix that easily by selecting the cells and choosing a color. And now our information is formatted grouped, and outlined the way that we want it. That is the end of Excel tutorial number 7. Check back often for more tutorials, and thanks for watching.